China. As the world's second largest economy, China has had a, let's call it, complicated relationship with our cryptocurrencies. Crypto has always been huge, to be clear, very, very clear here, has been huge amongst the Chinese population. Chinese people love crypto, and they still do today. But the CCP has increasingly been cracking down in the industry over the past decade or so. However, there now seems to be multiple indications percolating that the government of China, that is, might be softening its stance towards crypto. And this could be massive for our bags. And this is leading some to speculate that the CCP might soon pull a 180 and swing the doors wide open to Bitcoin and the larger cryptocurrency industry. They don't want to fall behind. They see people are making moves in America, and they don't want to be left behind. Now, if this happens, I don't need to tell you how hard our bags will moon. It'll be crazy. But the real question is, what are the odds that the Chinese government is actually going to do this? Or is this all just smoke, mirrors, and bullshit? Someone blowing smoke up your butt, man. Well, in today's video, let's take a look at all the events that have occurred recently and try to figure out what's going on here and come to a no BS conclusion about where the CCP might be headed with Bitcoin and crypto over the next few years. Now, let's start by briefly looking at China's historical relationship with crypto. And it's been goofy, right? The Chinese population was actually one of the first groups of people globally to embrace Bitcoin and some of the other early cryptocurrencies that came out. Massive early adopters. We're talking early days, 2011 to 2013, when you could buy a full Bitcoin for $100, man. People in China were aping big time. That's right. Back then, mainland Chinese exchanges were launching left, right, and center. We had large mining operations that were coming online in China. Long story short, during the early mid to 2010s, China became the world's largest market for both crypto trading and for crypto mining. It's thought that crypto took off in the country because citizens were looking for a good way to circumvent the Chinese government's capital controls. Mining then exploded, of course, due to the abundance of cheap energy, particularly hydro energy in the western provinces, but also coal energy and stuff like that. Well, at some point, the Chinese government, they got nervous. They didn't like it. So in 2013, we started the first China crypto ban. They started clamping down on the industry big time. That started one of the major first bear markets for crypto, by the way. But the real hit came in 2021 when the government completely outlawed mainland crypto exchanges, outlawed mining. Although they're once again one of the biggest miners in the world, they can't stop it. These 2021 laws killed off what was left of the remaining exchanges, largely in China, and pushed most of the countries mining overseas at the time. Note that, however, the CCP never technically outlawed an individual's right to hold and to trade crypto peer-to-peer. In fact, courts have upheld that in China. So basically, since 2021 to today, it's been an open secret that many citizens in China still deal on a regular basis with crypto VPNs, peer-to-peer trading, setting up addresses, backroom deals, setting up companies abroad to establish KYC identification with foreign exchanges, blah, 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 blah. There's always a workaround. There's a will, there's a way. You name it, okay? Essentially, if you are a Chinese citizen and you're willing to jump through all of the hoops, yeah, you can still do crypto, and they do. And they do. They're one of the biggest markets in the world, believe it or not. The government isn't going to break down your door over it, and they can't stop it. And hilariously, despite the CCP making it a pain in the butt, crypto in mainland China, it's still so big. In fact, it's one of the world's biggest markets for both crypto trading and for crypto mining. Once again, they're the third or fourth biggest mining country in the world. So that's where China is at currently. So what evidence do we have that the CCP might be making a comeback, a big turnaround? Come back to the light, guys. Well, let's start with Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs that launched in April. Now, I'm no China, Hong Kong political expert, okay, obviously, but the motto is one country, two systems. And Hong Kong has historically served as a trading and financial window on the world for mainland China, with the CCP exerting significant control and influence over the region. So it is believed that Hong Kong's greenlighting the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs likely only happened because of some level of official backing from the CCP in Beijing. This is an opinion that's been expressed by many people, including Arthur Hayes, CEO of BitMEX, and other crypto experts who have basically pretty solid knowledge of the region. Arthur's been in Hong Kong for a long time. Next are the comments from some of the ETF issuers and other major Hong Kong players with regards to the Stock Connect program. Now, in case you're not familiar with Stock Connect, I don't blame you. It's not something a lot of people are familiar with, to be fair. This is an investment program that gives Hong Kong and mainland investors access to some of the stocks listed on each of those exchanges. So basically, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. So Shanghai and Shenzhen, of course, mainland, Hong Kong, not mainland. They can move between them now. So Harvest Global Investments is one of the issuers of one of Hong Kong's Bitcoin ETFs. And here's what Harvest CEO Han Togli told the South China Morning Post in May. He said, "We have some plans for Bitcoin and for Ethereum ETFs to be able to reach investors in China. Now, if we manage to get the ETFs into the Stock Connect program, then a new investment path will be opened up for investors in the mainland of China, aka a tsunami of money will be coming in." Tongli further stated that so long as everything goes smooth, the firm wouldn't rule out applying to the Stock Connect program. Now, his statements are corroborated by Richard Byworth, who's the managing director of SYZ Capital, who tweeted in early May, "Yo, it's raining back there, isn't it? Holy crap, let's go." Anyway, he tweeted in early May that there's talk on Hong Kong streets that these ETFs could be added to the Stock Connect program. Very interesting. All right, now before we continue, let me interrupt the flow real quick. Not going to interrupt that flow. That's some rain, man. But let me interrupt the flow real quick to let you know about the best damn newsletter in the cryptocurrency industry. It's my newsletter. It's awesome. You're going to love it. It's called Crypto. It's called Wealth Mastery, man. It's awesome. Our readers love it. I'm sure you will as well. Every week, my team is working hard to bring you the latest and best money-making insights on airdrops, meme coins, altcoins, deep dives, technical analysis, charts, and much, much more. You can join our 125,000 weekly readers for free using the link down below. Check it out. I'm sure you'll love it. Our readers do. Get subscribed. Back to it. Now, let's turn to the ByBit news. This is really, really big. See, earlier this month, ByBit announced that they have once again opened up their exchange to the estimated 10 million mainland Chinese expats living abroad. Now, these individuals can now use their CCP issued IDs for verifications, but foreign addresses and foreign phone numbers are still going to be required. And ByBit is still, at the time of recording, going to be blocking any IPs coming from mainland China. So it's, to be clear, not a complete thawing here. Now, many took this as evidence that the CCP was indeed changing its tune on crypto, but hard to say. It's not super persuasive. ByBit's based in Dubai, and the most straightforward explanation to all of this is that the company found their own way to offer these services to Chinese expats. Okay, they didn't need the CCP's permission to do that, obviously. Well, then we've got the recent report, of course, here as well from the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, which is very, very interesting. In case you didn't see this, you see the ICBC is a mainland Chinese bank that just so happens to be the world's largest lender. Kind of a big deal. You've probably never heard of them because it's a Chinese bank, right? We don't talk about this so much here in the West. The relationship with the ICBC and the CCP is extremely tight. In fact, the bank is majority owned by the CCP. So get this, listen up, okay? Last week, the ICBC dropped an analysis report to the public arguing that Bitcoin is gold 2.0. What? And that Ethereum is digital oil. Ladies and gentlemen, that is freaking huge. The fact that the ICBC would not just publicly release a report of this nature without the approval from some of the CCP's top brass is evidence. This is Beijing potentially thawing towards crypto. So it's extremely interesting. Now, finally, I want to discuss the Chinese macro picture and how that might also be forcing the CCP's hand to open up to crypto again, to let citizens into crypto. You see 70% of the total wealth of China is right now tied up in mainland China real estate, which is not doing super well. See, the problem is that the country has been in the midst of an epic, gargantuan, nasty real estate crisis since 2020. Basically, the Chinese, with help from the government, created one of the largest real estate bubbles in history, and it has been popping oh so dramatically over the last few years. So on the ground, this means a lot of middle and upper class Chinese sunk their savings into real estate investments. And now those people are watching their net worths bleed every single day. The point is that this situation leads some, like SmashFi co-founder Brian Poon Jong Pike, to speculate that the CCP might actually be looking for alternative investments to offer to its citizens as a way to reduce the risks of widespread social unrest and people going crazy for gold. Okay, but think about this. Bitcoin ETFs solve two problems for them. It gives people something new to invest in. It also prevents capital from fleeing overseas. Broader perspective here too, keep in mind, is as we're trying to get a grasp of what's happening. Okay, so just think about all that. So what are we to make of everything we discussed here? Well, here's my take, but keep in mind that the CCP, it's a black box, okay? Nobody really knows. The best we can do is just draw some wild conclusions based off some of the evidence that's in front of us right now. Having said that, I think that the launch of the Hong Kong ETFs is big. And the recent ICBC report, these are the two strongest pieces of data that indicate that the CCP has already started to pivot in terms of its stance towards the cryptocurrency industry. Now, how quickly they pivot more, I don't know. Do I expect the government to pull, like a Donald Trump and just go hog wild, like, I'm going to be the Bitcoin man? Xi Jinping's coming out like, we want all the last Bitcoin to be mined in China? Probably not. Instead, my guess is that the CCP will continue to take a very nuanced and indirect approach in terms of crypto, slowly thawing. And they will open up different ways for mainland institutions, mainland investors to access Bitcoin, Ethereum, probably via sort of official rails like Shanghai Stock Exchange, but only to the point that the CCP feels they can still control their capital flows. Okay, again, ETFs work very well for them in that regard. And that's what it looks like to me. But I'd love to hear your take on this in the comments down below. Do hit me up. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.